You're watching Escape Adulthood Live, your number one source for long-lasting, fast-acting, physician-approved adultitis relief.
On this week's show, we're talking about the problem with stray days, what to do when you're ready for winter to be over, and we're making a huge announcement about the Escape Adulthood Summit.
And salutations. This episode is brought to you by people like Becky Kordotsky, Dave Kimmerman, and Krista Sobieski. Their membership in the Wonder and Whimsy Society supports us in this work to fight adultitis. Thank you, guys.
Yes, if you'd like to annihilate the adultitis in your life, learn more about the Wonder and Whimsy Society, or just be among the first to know about our newest offerings, become an insider at escapeadulthood.com/subscribe. Happy Wednesday. I feel like we're in school. We've got some really, all these lists of subjects. It's like, what are you going to take next semester?
Yes, we got a lot of band, art, Spanish, English,
chemistry. We got the range here. Language arts.
Pretty interesting. Yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about stray days and how they're kind of a sham.
By the way, it's so good to see all of our peeps here this week. We got some big news that we're going to wait for just a little bit, but it's so hard. I'm not the waiter in our relationship. Are you the waiter or are you not the waiter? Jason is the waiter. He puts, if we have something good, it's at the end of the day. If I have something good, it's for breakfast. Right? Which one are you? I mean, it's just who you are.
Yes.
I wish I was in the middle.
I don't know. I think it takes some cultivation too. I don't know that I was naturally patient, but we kind of break it down in our family. Ginny is a little bit more save the best for last and wait. Ben is a little bit. Are rip that Lego kit open immediately
and do the Lego set. I bet Paul can relate to that though too. Although Paul's been working on Legos, and I feel like you are savoring it. And
Angela,
so good for you,
Team Jason.
Yeah, I feels like you would be on Team Jason, Angela. That's a compliment.
Wes, Team Jason. Brenda, save the best for last.
I'm
Here
so
we go.
On an
Kara,
island. Yeah.
Team Kim. All right, there you go.
It's good to have someone there on the island with me.
Christy, I can't wait to hear the straight A theory. I was all about the A's. All right, well,
so was
we'll see.
So was I.
Might be controversial. We'll see.
It's a sham, you guys. I know. I won't jump on your
Here we
story
go.
There.
Jody is Team Jason. Tom is Team Kim. So
that
it's a split household.
Makes sense to me, Jody. And it makes sense that Tom and I could sit and talk about stuff for an hour in the first second that we met. So
here's another split household. Bill is Team Kim and Ellen is Team Jason.
See? Maybe that
Welcome
balance
aboard,
is good.
Ellen. Glad to have you on the team. Jen, Team Jason.
None of this is surprising me. I have to be honest.
Is good.
See? Yeah.
Please, if you get a chance, if you think about it, please share this episode with people that people know that it's live.
By the way,
invite them to be part of it.
I got a little, not so little Valentine in the mail for
that might be the biggest Valentine I've seen.
It's epic. It's a calendar sheet, and my Valentine pal was Dave Timmerman. So that was pretty rad, and he even put his little from in code, which is part of what we do in the Wonder and Whimsy Society. So we had a little Valentine pal exchange for those Wonder and Whimsy Society members who wanted to participate. Very, of course, voluntary, but it's fun writing the code.
Yeah,
the code
I forgot to
is
do
hard.
that. I forgot to do that. But
I wrote it on mine to my Valentine pal. I had a hard time writing the little symbols.
Yeah, I sent mine out today.
Fun. Did you?
It's not going very far, but
hint.
Knowing
Wisconsin, maybe.
Knowing this major hub's postal service, they might get it by Christmas.
Oh no!
So immediately, Jenna on
Rachel
our team knows exactly what state I'm shooting mine to.
Right. Lynn Major's Team Kim. Lynn.
Oh, gotta call that out.
See? I don't know.
It's unfortunate. Before we get to our major announcement, I did want to share some fun adultitis-free news that I think if you haven't seen this, you will get quite a kick out of. I was thinking about that today, of what is the purpose of the show in general. Why do we do this? What's the point?
Okay.
And I think like it really kind of boils down to like, well, we want to inspire people, of course.
Yes, I did.
But it's really about, having a little distraction, having something to make you feel good amidst all of the negativity that you see elsewhere online and in the news.
What's this negativity that you speak of?
Well, not everyone encounters it. Only people who live.
All right.
Seems like so. So I think this next story is going to be pretty heartwarming and pretty cool. So let's get into that. All right. Well, this little story is a little bit about like a sneaky library, I guess is a good way to say it. And I had a couple people send this to me. Martha was one of them. I'm not sure. I had quite a few, so it got my attention. Mm-hmm. And this was in the New York Times, and the headline is: an 8-year-old wrote a book and hid it on a library shelf. Oh, it's a hit.
What?
Have you heard this yet?
No.
Have you heard this? Okay, great. Okay, so during his Christmas break, Dylan Helbig, an 8-year-old boy from Boise, Idaho, wrote a book that he wanted everyone to read. He had spent a long time on it, 4 days to be exact, and filled 81 pages of an empty journal with a richly illustrated tale about how he gets transported back in time after a star atop his Christmas tree explodes. Oh. But he did not have a book deal. He's only in 2nd grade after all. So when his grandmother took him to the Lake Hazel branch of the Ada Community Library in Boise at the end of December, he slipped the sole copy of his book onto a shelf containing fiction titles. I had to sneak past the librarian, said Dylan, who says library instead of library. Who doesn't, right? Over the next month, a series of circumstances made the book one of the library's most sought-after titles, and also inspired children in Boise to write their own stories. Aww. The book, The Adventures of Dylan Helbig's Christmas, and that is spelled Chrismis. Mm-hmm. By the way, I've got a little picture, and I have a full picture of him, probably for privacy reasons, but that's Dylan, 8 years old. This is the cover of his book, so you can see here, The Adventures of Dylan Helbig's Christmas, by the author, Dylan himself.
Himself.
That's awesome. It had drawn so much.
That's like almost like his last name,
right?
Yeah.
It had drawn so much attention by the end of January that 56 people were on the waiting list to check it out, said the manager of the library branch. If every person kept the book for 4 weeks, the maximum borrowing time, the last person on the list would have to wait more than 4 years to read Dylan's tale. Aww. Here's how it happened. The night after Dylan surreptitiously, New York Times, left his book on that library shelf, he came clean to his parents, his mother said. They called the library thinking they could pick it up from the lost and found. But the librarians were so charmed by the book that they played along with Dylan's stunt. It deserves a spot on our library shelves, Mr. Hartman said on Monday. It's a good story. The librarians entered the book in their catalog system, but left the publisher category blank, he said. They also moved it out of the fiction section and set it alongside the graphic novels, since it had so many page-length illustrations.
Makes sense.
In his Christmas tale, Dylan, the protagonist and the author, goes on a time-traveling adventure after the star on the tree explodes. Santa comes, he says, explaining the next part of the plot. After that, Dylan comes across 5 trees, and one of them was like a tree portal. Oh. As they often are.
Helpful.
The portal takes him back in time to the first Thanksgiving in 1621, a date that he had to confirm with his mother. So Dylan has been writing these comic-style books since he was 5, but this is certainly his most successful. After the news of his literary triumph was reported in January by the Idaho Press, his classmates told him that he inspired them to write their own stories. Children have also told Mr. Hartman, the library manager, that they too want to write books for the library, and a local author, Christiane Lane, has offered to work with Dylan to create a children's writing workshop at the branch.
What? How cool is that?
In addition to the workshop, other big things could be ahead for the young author. Publishers have contacted the library about officially publishing the book, and the libraries are planning to make extra copies of the book. We hope that other kids are inspired by Dylan to share their stories, Mr. Hartman said. So after all of this, amidst all of the attention, Dylan has decided he wants to become an author. But he has other plans too. He's going to stop writing when he's 40, and then he's going to make games.
Oh.
40
is the age for that.
Yeah, that's career shift already planned. Before he reaches middle age, Dylan has exciting plans for a sequel. My next book, he said, is going to be called The Jacket Eating Closet, based on actual events.
Oh.
So there you go. And here's a chapter 1 right there. To the North Pole.
That's adorable.
One day when it was Christmas. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So
are your hearts exploding? By the way, this is an interesting test of adultitis. If your heart is not close to exploding, that might be a sign that you're closed off to joy right now.
Could be. Jen says librarians. Wow. Rock.
You guys,
Be Still My Heart.
Right? Oh, the story.
What else?
My gosh.
Really creative. I love that first of all, you love him. Like the creativity and
his innocence,
for
right?
That
Did we all have that at one point in our life? I hope so. I think we did.
Paul asked if we can get him on the show. That would be really cool. We should look into that.
That's a great idea, Paul.
We'll have to get in touch with his agent now.
What's his bedtime?
Yeah.
We might have to pre-record that.
So I love obviously kids are very creative and awesome, but I love that the librarians went with it. Another thing I read, by the way, this was written by Alyssa Lukepat. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. She was basically just read what she wrote word for word. But there was a thing I skipped where the library gave him their first ever Houdini Award, with the Who spelled WHO, for Best Young Novelist, an award they created just for him. So I love that they ran with it. I love that they used it to help inspire other kids. I love that this other author is working with him to create a workshop, which is really cool. So kudos to everyone on that one. We need more stories
Wendy
like that.
said he's in Idaho, so yes, he would have an earlier bedtime or an earlier time zone. So that might be kind of fun.
Maybe we can get on that. So. Did
you also have, now admit to me, did you have that moment where you're like, oh, that's an interesting way to promote your book?
All my books are now at the local library, just FYI. I haven't heard back from any of them, but no, that was actually when we moved to Sheboygan. The first time we went to the library, when it was finally open from COVID, Penguins Can't Fly was on the shelf.
That was kind of fun.
I was in the self-help section, and I'm like, hey, this book looks familiar. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's always a fun that's a perk of having a published book, is that the distribution happens without you even having anything to do with it.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty good.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, it's time to share a little bit of news.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
We have dates. The 2022 version of the Escape Adulthood Summit will be held on August 1st and 2nd of 2022. There's a little wrinkle to that, which we'll get to in a second, but maybe even bigger news is it's not going to be in Wisconsin this year.
And it's not even going to be in the Midwest.
Ooh, oh no, you
sweet.
Did.
That's why I'm wearing this shirt tonight. And I kind of shared this on my Facebook. I shared it on Whimsy Wednesday. We've been on quite the journey. You kind of picked up on this a couple weeks ago when we were in Florida, and we were like, what do you guys want? It's been a wild ride. Mm-hmm. Is that safe to say?
It has been. But I think it's over. I'm not going to say overdue, but I think we're ready for this. We've had 8 summits so far. Every single one has sold out, and every single one has been in Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Some have been in Madison. Some have been outside of Madison. This last one was in Sheboygan.
Yep.
And they've been great. And we think it's time to make the summit even more of an escape than it already is. And we've been looking for fun, cool destinations. We have a list of future ones that we're thinking about, but we think it's the time. Now,
it is the time.
I don't know. We don't know, like, if people will take to it or not.
Which hence the shirt, right?
Yeah,
we got to dream bigger. We're trying to practice what we preach, break through our comfort zones and say, if this is something we're being called to, which we feel strongly that we are, then it's time. So we hope that you'll join us. No, we are not telling the location tonight.
Well, I'll say this.
This is so mean.
Brenda says it could be on the moon, and I'll sign up. I'll tell you it's not going to be on the moon.
It'll be.
Can we say that?
Can we the United
States. Is it safe to say that?
It is safe to say that. Okay. Yes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna.
We want you to spend the next week dreaming with us. Maybe that little list of hopeful places you'll send to us.
What?
Yeah. I'm
Jane,
sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. So here's the deal. Spend the week thinking about where you want it to be and send us those places, because honestly, we should be booking 2023 right now, apparently. That's how
and we will be talking about it. Next year is going to be number 10.
Yes. It's a big deal. We want to make that really special as well.
Yeah. Stacy wants to know if we can share the coast.
No. Ooh, good question. No, but that's...
And it may or may not even be a coast.
Right?
That's the, who knows?
Right.
It could be north,
but
south,
let's talk
east,
more
west.
about the August 1st and 2nd. So August 1st and 2nd is a Monday and Tuesday. We have loved doing things on a Monday, Tuesday. It gives you the weekend to travel, come in early if you want, have your work pay for it because it's professional development, which we'll share more about that next week, honestly. If you are not an hourly position, you should be getting your work to pay for this. I think that's a pretty safe line to say. So the thing that you should know is that if you are a Wonder and Whimsy Society member,
this is exciting.
We also want you to secure Wednesday, August 3rd. So August 1st, 2nd is the summit.
It's
right?
optional.
Yes. But if you can swing it, please also come for the 3rd. It's no extra money other than maybe some recreational stuff. But it will be an opportunity to connect as a community of Wonder and Whimsy Society members in person and do some really fun stuff in this location. And that's going to be kind of our new thing is Wonder and Whimsy Wednesday, which will be now the 3rd day of the summit. Again, completely optional, no extra cost.
And technically it's not actually part of the summit.
No.
The summit ends.
It's a PS.
It's the 1st and 2nd is the summit.
Right.
But there's an extra add-on for the Wonder and Whimsy Society community that we thought would be convenient. That was one of the coolest things. So the Wonder and Whimsy Society was created during the pandemic because we couldn't have the summit. And the idea was, okay, we can't have the summit. People said, well, could you do a virtual one? And the summit, if you've ever been to one, it works in person. And so we said, well, what if we created something that was virtual, that was a community that had some of the elements of a summit? And that's what Wonder and Whimsy Society turned into.
Yeah.
What was kind of an unexpected bonus is that at the last summit, many of the attendees were from Wonder and Whimsy Society and had met each other online. And when they got a chance to meet each other in person, it was magical.
Yes.
We had a little line that I still have to make a t-shirt of that said, "My imaginary friends are real." Because when you are friends that people you just know online, sometimes they feel a little imaginary,
right?
They
feel kind of just
virtual.
And
it was real. And the energy was such that many people who were at the summit who weren't Wonder and Whimsy Society members signed up to be a part of it. So that will also be an option for people who come to the summit, aren't Wonder and Whimsy. You'll have a chance to join if you'd like to.
Right.
But the rest of the summit experience is the self-contained August 1st and 2nd, like we've done in the past. We just added this extra little bonus on for Wonder and Whimsy people. So
yes, it's exciting.
But next week you have to tune in because next week we are going to reveal the state, the city, the location, the place we will be meeting. It's awesome. I just can't even tell you how cool it is. And
we shared all the news with Jenna and Rachel this week. We had a meeting yesterday about it, and I don't know if I've seen them that excited in a long time. They were pretty giddy.
It was nice to see that, yeah.
It's definitely meant to be, you guys. I know you trust us, but please do trust us. This has been gifted to us as our next step, and we are excited to share that gift with you guys. So stay tuned. And, I saw Steven just pop in. What you see on the screen is pretty much it, buddy. We just shared the dates, get them, ask off work. and then save that Wednesday for if you would like to join us for Wonder and Whimsy Society Wednesday. That'll be kind of an extra bonus this year.
WWSW.
Yeah.
So next week we will be announcing, and that will also be when golden tickets go on sale. And again, we will have limited amount of golden tickets. The space is only so big. We carefully grow it so that it can maintain the magic. So,
I love some of these guesses. Throw your guesses up. Jane says, is it at Paul and Kara's house? Is it at Disney? Man, Disney prices. Oh, we could never afford that, you guys.
That is $10 million for that.
Paul and Kara's house. I forgot to clear that with them, but I'm sure they're fine.
Well,
with
they
that.
said you do not want to be here
fine.
in August. Trust me. And
Let's just
can
say the weather.
That. I have been there.
Consider the weather. I saw, was it Nick earlier said something about the weather. We did consider the weather. So again, trust us.
Yeah.
It's definitely not Arizona. Even though we would love to have it at your house, Tracy's. So anyway, we better stop talking because I'm going to spill the beans.
Yeah.
We got to keep moving.
We'll move on.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
IKEA instructions give me the cold sweats. My dad was a carpenter, but I am not the least bit handy. Unless you want me to screw in a light bulb or put a nail in a wall to hang a photo. What else? It took me an hour to figure out how to change the spark plug in my lawnmower last summer. Also, I currently cannot solve even the most remedial algebra equation. And I am terrible at remembering names. On the other hand, I am a talented artist. Excellent speaker, a really good writer, pretty handy in the kitchen too. But even though there are people who wish they were half as good as me at the things I do well, I bemoan the areas of my life where I am below average and beat myself up for not being better at the things I stink at. Can you relate to this? I blame the report card. In our traditional educational system, the report card is a record of our proficiency in a wide variety of subjects: math, science, language, history, physical fitness, etc. And what's the ideal? Straight A's. We're ranked according to grade point average, and the only path to the top is being awesome at everything. The downfall of this scenario is that if someone passes English with flying colors but performs poorly in math, we're liable to brand them as deficient and stick them in a remedial class. Imagine, Beethoven can't pass a spelling test, so we label him as one of the dumb kids. From our earliest days, the report card makes it clear that success looks like being good at everything. Anything less is frowned upon. Is it any wonder why people apologize when they're not an expert after trying something for the first time? Spoiler alert, people who get straight A's are not actually good at everything. I should know because my report card was often filled with them. The only definitive thing straight A's tells you is that you were good at school. Unfortunately, being good at school is a different skill set than winning at life. This subconscious programming by our educational system is a severe detriment to our ability and willingness to tinker. Not only does it limit our future growth, but it's also not at all reflective of what we encounter in the real world. In the real world, we're rewarded for what we do well, not for being well-rounded. LeBron James does one thing really, really well and is richly rewarded for it. I'm not sure if he ever passed trigonometry. But let's not argue that we place too much value on tossing an orange ball through a circle with a net for a dress, because I agree. But the premise still stands. Do you care if your dentist got a D in history? Do you care if the chef at your favorite restaurant aced geography? When your kitchen is flooding, do you care if your plumber has always struggled to understand what the hell Shakespeare was talking about? The report card lied. Getting straight A's is not the best indicator for success in life. You don't have to be great at everything. You don't even have to be the LeBron James of anything. You just need to assemble a talent stack. Scott Adams, the creator of the comic strip Dilbert, popularized this concept, which states that all you have to do to ensure success is assemble a stack of complementary skills and be in the top 15% or so of each. Do that, and you'll be unstoppable. In his case, he readily admits he's not the best artist, the funniest humorist, or even the most knowledgeable about the inner workings of corporations. But his unique combination of those skill sets has contributed to his success as a cartoonist. My own career took off when I was able to harmoniously blend my art, writing, and speaking skills. Please hear me. You not being good at everything doesn't make you broken, or less than, or not enough. It makes you human. We weren't designed to be all-powerful, self-sufficient beings. We were designed to need one another. I get paid to give a speech that encourages a team, and I use the money to pay a plumber to fix my sink's leaky pipe. We are made to work together, and we all have a part to play. Your job is to combine the handful of things you're really good at and let them shine in a way only you can. Trust me, the rest of us aren't that bright.
I think I am a walking study of the ineffectiveness of a straight A report card. Because you know my strengths, right? Mm-hmm. You know where they play out, and it's not straight A's across the board, you guys, but I could play the game, and I got straight A's most of the time. I think I got straight A's all through college because I could play the game. Did I retain any of that? You can attest to this. Very little. Very little.
Well, and that's why I say I can't even do an algebra equation, because I don't use that. I got A's in math and algebra and all that stuff, but like I don't use it anymore. So it didn't really stick. And again, getting straight A's can open doors, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, right? But I think sometimes we put too much effort on it. And the biggest thing I wanted to point out is that it conditions us to feel we have to be good at everything. And we're apologizing for our weaknesses. We're apologizing for the things we're not that great at. And the other thing about that talent stack that has been a huge insight for me is, figuring out what talents or skills you can learn. A lot of them are learnable. Right. And I don't remember the exact thing. I think it was about 15%, the top 15%, which really, if you think of the entire world's population, like, am I in the top 15% of artists? Yeah, probably. That's not that big of a bar if you're reasonably good at something. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that's really kind of cool to think about is the ability to add talents to that stack. Mm-hmm. So over the pandemic, one of the biggest things we did was add this video stuff, learning lighting and cameras and the technology. And that is now something we've added to the writing and the speaking and the art, and has help our business grow even more. Right. And so for all of us, learning a language is something you can add to your talent stack. Learning more about psychology, how people work.
Emotional intelligence.
Kara mentioned one of her favorite classes was typing. I mean, that's a huge talent stack to have. Huge. So a talent to add to your stack. So I think that's what the goal was, is to encourage people to look at the things that they're good at and see how they kind of can maybe work together, some of those, valuable skills, and then say, well, what can I do that makes me stand out because of the unique combination of those skills. Like, again, in my case, there's a lot of good artists, but most artists aren't really big fans of getting up and talking in front of people. So that alone adds a different dynamic. So
I don't know if we have time to go into all of this, but you're adding a new talent stack right now, right around the corner, with what you showed me. Tell them about that real quick, because I think that's kind of interesting.
So when we lived in Madison, I took my paintings in to a print studio, and they photographed my artwork for reproductions and things. And we don't have a place like that in Sheboygan. No. And I've considered driving back to Madison for this, but it, with the art that the
art is big, you guys. It's really big,
and so I've been learning how to photograph artwork professionally and how to make it so that it looks good and there's not glare on it. It's not blurry, and I actually was very grateful because the people who photographed our stuff before actually gave me tips of how they do it and what to look for. So, but I bought a course on photographing artwork. I've been following that, and I've been learning some of that. So that is going to not only save us money in the long run, but it's another little, I guess, mini skill that adds to everything that we do together. So
what that also means is that there's a whole stack of artwork here in this house that you have not officially seen or had access to for the last year that is going to be coming out little by little. Is that safe to say?
Yes.
That's the plan.
And that's the thing, is I want it to be released more than just in a big bunch, which
so we're excited.
I like Jennifer points out for her, she combines art and helping people with the art therapist, and that's exactly right. And
amazing.
I would be willing to bet, Jennifer, that you probably have one or two other things sprinkled in there that makes you a good art therapist, right?
Or what made you be able to help people, right? What about your
probably
life?
Have a pretty high emotional intelligence that I'm sure has taken some whether some psychology classes empathy, or experiences, classes, whatever.
Right.
So exciting stuff. So hopefully that was useful, but I think it's time to get those crayons or markers or colored pencils out and let's draw. Okay, we're doing something different here today. I'm going to be drawing as usual, so if you like to join us or if you've never joined us, grab something to write with, something to write on. Let's have some fun. We're going to take it step by step, and I'm going to show you how to draw something fun. And Kim is going to be joining us tonight.
I am. It is show number 81, and I read somewhere that on your 81st show, you have to start doing things a little differently.
Is that
it
sure?
Is 81. Okay. And so
you're going to add a little to your talent stack.
I'm going to add a little to my talent stack by starting a new journal inspired by Stephen Saki, where I'm going to be drawing along with you guys, and each week I'm going to add in my journal. So let's do this.
So let's start out with towards the top of the page with a circle. All right. Very good. There we go. We're good. Now under that circle, we're going to draw like a little V, a little triangle, almost like it's a giant ice cream cone. Okay. Now we're going to draw a couple lines, diagonal lines, like that. All right. So far, so good. Now we're going to draw. Let's call this a parentheses. Okay. Watch this. Like a little parentheses right there. All right. Now we're going to draw and take that V that we drew up there, and we're going to mimic that upside down like an A, but without the line in the middle. Okay.
Got some good guesses here so far.
And then we're just going to connect those lines up. All right. We're going to be, it's going to start to take shape here. Now we're going to draw a round curvy shape here. Just like that. Kate says a weeble. Kind of looks a little bit like a weeble. All right, now we're going to draw is another circle, but it's going to be behind the part of the figure that we've just drawn. So watch this. So you're just going to start here and draw, a circle shape that brings it around that way.
It's a little thinner than I'd like.
It's all right. Everybody's going to look a little bit different. Okay. Now we're going to draw a couple lines down like at angles like that. All right. And then we're going to connect those in like that. And okay, now we've got people seeing that it looks like a snowman. You're correct. So we're gonna draw a C right there on the side, kind of like in the middle, but more off to the side a little bit. And then we're gonna get a little bring that carrot in with that little triangle shape. All right. Jody says a rapping snowman. No, but your mileage may vary. All right, now at the top here, we're going to draw a straight line across. It's kind of like you're cutting off the top of his head. Ouch. And then we're gonna draw a little brown shape there and a little round shape there. These are a little bit like going to be like his blue blockers. Okay. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave a little, make a couple lines like this, like little sideways slashes, and we're gonna color in part of it. But the middle parts here, we're gonna leave empty. Those are like the little glare.
What age do they send you blue blockers?
Well, this snowman's going to Florida, so probably whatever age that happens when you move down there. And then you can do whatever you want. I'm gonna make little pieces of coal here for his mouth, kind of make a little smile there.
That's cute.
All right. Okay. And then we'll kind of give him a little bit more of this Hawaiian shirt look. I'm gonna draw a little triangle here in this corner. And another triangle here in this corner. And then we'll make a line straight down and get that shirt going there.
I like Lucy's comment, Olympic snowman.
There you go. Right? All right, now you can have a little fun with his arms here. And just kind of make just a little stick shape however you want. You can have it bending. All right, this is an opportunity to be creative. Okay, now I'm gonna get some color going in here, and I know you don't have color handy, Kim, but
yes, I do, yo.
Oh, she does.
64, yo.
Wow.
It's actually Rose. It has her name on it. Thank you, Rose.
All right, so we'll do real quick here. I'll get some color in here. And show a couple little tricks to make it look even better. Be careful, always, kids. Always be careful of yellow snow.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna keep this crystal clear. Don't want any issues here.
I like Jane's comment. Kim looks like the student cheating off the cute guy beside her.
I resemble that remark.
Remember what I said about my straight A's, Jane? I mean,
how do you think I
got them?
Are you saying they're not legitimate, those A's?
I'm not going to go there because our kids may watch this, but you know.
Oh, great. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get like a lighter gray or purple, and on the one side, I'm going to make a little shadow here.
All right. I've got purple.
I'm going to do that
this
over here.
This one's called Orchid.
That'll work.
Yeah, that's
Orchid's pretty. A good color. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we got a little bit of shadow on that dude.
He's got like a little belly showing, like a little.
He does.
Like what do they call that kind of crop top? Didn't you have a shirt like that when you were a kid? You were just talking.
Cutoff shirt.
Cutoff.
That was big. Was big in the 80s. Give me a shout out if you can. If you are of the age
like,
where you wore
say that you wore a cutoff t-shirt.
That's pretty rad. Sometimes they were mesh. That was the best kind that I had. It was like a yellow mesh, not a crop top.
Is it crop top for girls?
Possibly.
Okay, I don't know.
Mine was manly. Mine was manly.
Yours was manly. I've seen pictures. I don't know. I'm not sure how manly it was.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. All right, so I'm giving this guy again. Now you could go any color. You could go little patterns. I'm going to do some little flower patterns here on his shirt.
I'm totally having a flashback to teaching kindergarten because, like, I just realized that I picked the same color as you for the shirt. That's, like, totally a kindergartner thing to do. I'm like, you put up an example and all the kindergartners make the exact same, you know.
That's what I love about this group, though.
Yeah, they don't do that.
I mean, you do. You did.
Apparently I do.
But a lot of the people, they go with their own, and that's what I love. They get some individuality.
Than I do.
There you go. Yeah, you'll learn. You'll learn. It's okay.
I'm tinkering.
You don't have to be perfect on your first try, Kim.
I'm new.
All right.
I'm a newbie.
We got a little...
81, baby.
little flowers there. Again, you could put little polka dots. You could do stripes. You could do a little pattern. We're going to get our little carrot going here. His little nose.
I kind of want mine to have a hat.
You are more than welcome to put a hat on there. I'm gonna make up.
I would like some guidance because I'm not too great at hats. But
I specifically didn't do a hat because I knew this was a little bit more of a complicated drawing and it would take a little bit more time. But here we go with my tropical snowman. That's what I'm calling it.
Cute.
Now let's get this up here, and I want you to be able to show people what you.
Should I show them what I did?
Yeah.
All right. My first one, you guys. Let's see. I don't know how nice the
There you go.
I was trying to go for like a little Marty thing, but then for some reason his hand got really weird right here.
Looks pretty good. Looks like he's flipping us off.
He's mad. He's really upset. I don't know why. This is fun. I think I'll do this again.
Hey, that's not bad. That's pretty good. And we want to see what you came up with. So send it to us at kj@escapeadulthood.com. It's one of my favorite parts of the week is to see the submissions come in. We have a few to share this week from last couple weeks. Elle
this one
did a little slingshot, and I think mine had a little Spider-Man on it, but she took this to the next level with the little star and the colors and the Wonder Stone, the slingshot of truth. So good job, Elle, on that.
Super awesome.
Jennifer, always a great contributor. She's got the key lime dancing right there.
Like
the
lime dancing.
There you go.
Lime dancing.
Yeah.
Yes. That's very punny of you, Jennifer.
Well done. Well done. Steven,
this one.
good job here. He's got
Marty.
the little burn marks or whatever they call that. The little stuff on the meringue.
Like the little fire thing.
Yeah, you know what I was talking about, right? Fire thing. Yeah, I'm an excellent speaker. Totally. I like how Marty is riding the wave there. And I think I got one more. Martha did a great job with this. I love that she made him he's just hanging out, chilling,
like living life,
as one does in Key West.
I was surprised she didn't put the Charlie Brown lines. I
was a little surprised too.
She broke the rule. She broke her own rule, which you're allowed to do. By the way, Brenda, you just made me laugh.
She said.
That darn F dog.
Oh,
disaster.
Yeah, we haven't revisited that.
No,
Kim
we should have
maybe we will someday.
We should have like a clip we can go through and just like.
The problem is you don't have any other things you can draw. That's it. That's your thing. But now you can draw a tropical snowman.
I'm gonna work on it. Yeah,
tropical snowman.
I'm trying to learn.
All right, meme of the week. Speaking of rules that don't exist, I hate it when you see a sign and suddenly your plans are ruined.
That's not allowed.
Triceratops, right?
Talk about adultitis. Come on.
Terrible.
That's what we're going to do.
All right, well, this week we wanted to talk about something that we've done in the past.
Familiar.
We've shared a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
A little foreshadowing.
A little scram winter. So when you are in a spot, and I don't know where people are because I know like some people live in Arizona and it's not really ever winter, or at least the way we think of winter where it's freezing. And I know some of the Southwest or Southeast, I should say, has been killed with some snow that's unusual.
Way more than us.
Have had hardly anything.
Yeah.
So, but there may come a time before winter is over when you are ready to show winter the door. Maybe it's now for some of you. Maybe it's next week. Maybe it's in a few weeks. But what we want to encourage you to do is to host a Scram Winter party. And that was one of the things we encouraged our Wonder and Whimsy Society members to do. I think I'd mentioned this in the past. We'd sent a little postcard this year.
I love this little postcard, by the way.
Recently.
It's so cute.
How to host a Scram Winter party. And we have some tips that we want to share with you. So when we did this was quite a few years ago, and you're going to love some of these pictures.
Oh, wow.
So the basic concept is you bring...
pale, but I think I'm the same color right now.
You bring the tropics to you. So how do you do that? Especially if you live in a northern climate where there are no tropics at any time. You jack up the thermostat to like 80-something degrees, maybe 90.
Crank it.
Put on shorts, put on tropical shirts, get some lays, make some fruity drinks. I think you have some sunscreen on your nose there.
Yes, I do.
Sunglasses, right? You're going to want to think about the decor. Bring some bright flowers, some colorful flowers. Maybe
Summery.
the food needs to be tropical. We got pizza
Fruit kebabs
with pineapple and ham.
Hawaiian pizza.
Hawaiian pizza. Fruit kebabs, as you mentioned. Notice the plates, very tropical, right?
Yeah.
And we had some friends over, and we had a good time. So,
ironically, we had my Valentine pal over.
We did, yeah.
Dave Termerman came over that night. That was so much fun. Oh my gosh.
So it could be
Good
like
memories.
fruit kebabs, key lime pies, something made with coconut. Maybe you watch a movie that has something to do with Hawaii or the tropics, like Blue Hawaii or Lilo and Stitch or something like that.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite tips to share, and a lot of people can do this. We know a little bit more how this works because of Zoom, with the way the background works. But I made a poor man's green screen. Basically, I took a green tablecloth and just hung it up.
That was so much fun.
And then we took pictures, and you can see Ben there where he's got the green screen. And then I just took it into a photo editing program, selected the green, deleted it, and put in a tropical background.
It worked.
And it was pretty good. So I love that. It reminds me, we only have 2 kids there. We have Ginny, Ben, and our oldest daughter was sick.
Fever.
Yes.
I know.
But that brought back some fun memories. But not only that, so like I said, some of us live in areas where it is not snowing, it is not winter, it doesn't get exceptionally cold. And what we trust you to do is to take the idea and run with it, make it your own. And we have some people we wanted to highlight who did just that. They're watching tonight, actually. Paul and Kara Tracy did a wonderful, wonderful job. And I actually wrote, she shared this in the private group of the Wonder Woman Society. I hope it's okay to share this. It didn't feel like it was exceptionally private, although I do have your address and social security number here.
And your DNA samples.
But Kara said, I must admit, I don't want winter to scram, which makes sense. When you live in Arizona,
makes sense.
The more tolerable temperatures are welcome. She said, I wanted to stay as long as possible, if not longer. But we can't pass up a chance to dress up and throw ourselves a theme party. And so ours was more of a scram COVID. Love it.
What?
Love it.
A good idea. Yes.
So they can go back to Hawaii, which is one of their favorite places. So they enjoyed Mai Tais, plate lunch with barbecue tempeh kebabs, Kona coffee ice cream, coconut and macadamia nuts on them while listening to Hawaiian tunes. And after dinner, we watched my favorite, Lava, which is it was at the beginning of Moana, I believe, that little short. That little cute,
that does sound familiar.
I think that's what she was referring to.
I wish we could have been there.
These little like tiki cups that she's got. And,
I love their joyful vibe that they're putting out.
Yes.
Right.
So we always like to point out when our community is doing a great job fighting adultitis. We love sharing inspiration, but we love it even more when you do something with it and make it your own and take it to the next level, which Paul and Kara definitely did.
Yes, of course they shared it in the private group, but I also saw them share it out on social, and it was kind of neat to see people being like, I wish I could have been there. Like, so the idea of like the joy you put out in the world, it's contagious. It just brings people like that connectedness that so many of us are still missing. So way to go, you guys. Always kudos.
Yes, and I love the Scram COVID thing. I think we can all relate to that. And it basically just comes down to, again, like we don't realize how much power we have over our own moods and our own thoughts and feelings, and just being able to say, you know what, we're throwing a Scram winter party, a Scram COVID party, and we're gonna have fun, and you just do it. And adultitis really, really hates that.
It does. Good for you guys.
So thank you guys. Keep up the good work. And I think it's time to give something away.
Let's do it. All right.
I love this one. What's something you weren't graded on in the 3rd grade? So this never was actually on the report card. But if you had been, you definitely would have earned an A.
Ooh.
I can't wait to hear what you come up with. And if you enter your answer in the comment, you have a chance to win what?
A very handy dandy $10 comfortable gift card to the Lemonade Stand, our shop for all things awesome. And last week was Jeff Jones, is it?
Jeff
Jones
was our winner, yes.
From, I believe, Michigan. I believe he's a Michigan guy.
Michigander.
Michigander over there, Gander across the lake. So we sent that out. You'll be getting that any day now, Jeff. I stuck that in the mail like 2 days ago. So yeah, I'm curious. Third grade.
What about you?
Third grade, I was a student of Mrs. Pezanowski.
Pezanowski.
Yes, it was our first job in
third grade teacher name.
Grade, right. Our first job in third grade was to learn how to spell her name. So that was fun.
That's applicable to life.
She also panicked me very greatly because the second thing she said after that was, "This is the year that I will not tell you how to spell anything. If you want to learn how to spell something, you have to go look it up in the dictionary."
Which I know you love, that concept.
That was very difficult.
If I knew where it was in the dictionary.
I was such a bad speller. The thought of finding it in the dictionary was like finding a needle in a haystack, you guys. Like, I didn't have the right section. That's how bad of a speller I was. So it started off on a rough note, I'll be honest.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got here?
I hope your third grade was better than mine.
What do we got? Stacy would get an A at talking in class.
With me. We would totally have talked.
Terry, being a good friend.
Oh,
that's nice.
Terry.
That's nice. Rachel, floor hockey.
Ooh. And Jim.
Wendy, it looks like 3 of you would be on that talking in class.
We'd just be like in the corner, like go to the bathroom, you know what I mean?
Lucy, positivity. That's great.
Awesome. So cute. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Dorothy says a soft card.
A soft
I'm not sure
card.
what that means.
Our gift card.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
back to that. Yep.
It's very comfortable.
I know.
Very soft.
It's very...
Sounds like she probably won one time.
Yeah.
Kara, roller skating.
Oh! No, we have to incorporate that into the summit because I got some...
Roller skating?
Skills. Yeah, I need to show those off.
Ooh, here's a good classic, Wes. Taking care of classroom animals during holidays. And then someone accidentally kills it. And that's always another teaching moment. Jennifer would have gotten an A in big hair bangs. You know it.
Aqua net.
Just keep it going.
Yep.
Kathleen, observation skills.
Kathleen.
There you go.
Aww.
Nick, how are you, Nick? Napping.
Oh, already in third grade?
Did you have that down? Did you have it where you could?
That seems kind of early.
You could be asleep and the teacher wouldn't even know it.
Oh, I had that down, but that was a high school skill. That was, I don't know. Hey, to each his own, man. Yep. The sooner you learn it, the better is really the case.
Paul, chalkboard cleaning. I remember doing that.
All right, did you do a sponge or a rag?
I think we had both. It just depended on the teacher. And then the erasers, you have to pound the erasers.
And then you're like covered, and you're like, what?
Kids these days, they don't know. Now it's probably all dry erase board, whatever. Jody, most boy crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
I bet lots of boys had a crush on Jody.
Well, and then there's the teacher thing. Jane over loving the teacher, Mrs. Crick. I had a crush on my teacher, my second grade teacher, actually. It was Miss Winkleman.
Was she a nun?
No. Now, she was one of those, like, first year out of school. You know.
Those classic crushes on those 23-year-olds. For the whole second grade, that was who your teacher was? I never heard her name.
It was a joy to go to school. Let me tell you. Scott. Hey, Scott. Nose picking.
Oh, third grade. Yeah. I mean, gotta be honest.
Yeah, might have been a little bit more after that, too, if you were like some of the third grade boys I knew. Lying, says Linda Kotecki, but that's not
Walt.
Very quickly. That's from Walt.
Yeah.
Didn't you have to tell me, but just to be clear publicly, we know my dad was pretty good. He did
fib a lot.
Famous story of my dad is he got some less than stellar grades on a report card one year, and he put gold stars over the top of them, and then when he brought it home to get his report card signed, his mom asked, "What's with this?" And he says, "Well, it's a new thing. It's better than an A." Sweet. And he to this day he's proud that he perfected the technique of putting it on just enough so that then when he'd go back to school he just flip those things off and throw them to the wind. And It had his mom's signature on her, and I think he did have a nun. And the nun was like, "What did your mom say?" She's like, "Try harder." It's a classic mom line, right?
I think that tells you a lot about someone because he is a problem solver.
Yeah.
And those skills were demonstrated
make it
in
happen.
that process. Yeah.
Brooke,
very
daydreaming,
Aww.
I can relate to that. Ellen
Little
says,
JD.
Bill says, reciting all of the presidents in order.
Whoa, that's legit.
That's pretty good.
I wonder if he could still do it today. We'll see if he can.
Well,
do
he's
that
had to add a few since third grade.
Well, yeah,
right? So that makes it.
But not
Luckily,
too many.
we've had a couple with the same last name, so that makes it. You can kind of
fudge it around a little bit.
Yeah, a bush somewhere.
Another bush. I don't know.
The skip it.
Ooh,
Skip it. Yeah.
Classic. Mm-hmm.
Kara says yes to roller skating at the summit.
I know.
Ooh, how about this hanging from the bars?
Ooh, I stunk at that.
Yeah.
I wished I could. We did Chinese jump rope. I'm sure. Is that offensive to say?
I'm
but
sure
that's
it
what
is.
We called it.
You're canceled.
It's like a big rubber band that you put between your ankles and someone else's ankles. Did you ever see the girls do that?
They did all kinds of sorcery like that.
You could just keep it in your pocket and then you got out to recess. Our recess was just a parking lot. That was all we had.
How about, here's one. I don't know if anyone said this one, but how about getting an A and doing that fortune teller thing?
Oh,
the fortune teller? Remember that? And then you pick like...
Is that the one where you live in a mansion and things like that?
Oh, there's all kinds of different ones. Yeah. Pick red, pick a color, pick a number. Yeah.
Okay.
Brenda, hula hoop.
Nice.
Nick, around the world math competitions.
Ooh, around the world. Yes, those are fun. We did do that in third grade.
Circling all the good items in the book sale flyer. You're speaking my language.
Okay, what was the book? What
Scholastic.
Was Scholastic.
Yeah.
There was a couple brands, wasn't there?
I'm sure there was, but that it was like a little...
Did your mom's buy
just like a little two-piece, like a folded thing, like a newsprint, and it was just like, oh.
Did you guys get to pick a book every time? We
no,
didn't. We didn't.
Once in a while.
Yeah,
but,
we just had to go to the library.
But yeah, there was like 20 on there. It's like, I get to pick one. And it was... Good,
but then when the
memories,
books came and you were like, is this the time I got a book? Oh, that was kind of hard.
Well, then it took so long. But then when it came, it was like best day ever.
The box
right?
comes into the classroom.
Which, frankly, now that I think about it, that has been one of the inspirations of the Wonder and Whimsy Society.
Yes.
Is once a quarter,
yep.
we send a box or an envelope of goodies and you don't know it's coming. And then when it comes, like, yes, so...
Oh, Kathleen Cummings, as the youngest, I can relate to this on a different level. Getting my younger sister to do things for me. I know! I totally did things for my sisters all the time.
Suckers.
Birth
Corey
order.
playing Foursquare.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
We lived on Foursquare. Mm-hmm.
How about peeing dried glue off my hands?
Peeling.
Oh! Okay. I was like...
Did you do this? Did you actually put glue?
Yes.
Yes, that is a thing.
Yes,
that is
but I'm like,
thing.
that's...
Peeing
maybe
glue?
that's a Minnesota thing. I don't know. I am so happy that I read that wrong.
MASH, yes. Who said that? It went up fast. Ellen. MASH. Is that whole like, are you living? Do you have a sports car? Do you have a mansion? Why did we care about all this?
Cat's Cradle. Pick up sticks. Now we're going to the game. Hey, here's Lynn. I have an entire book of beautiful fortune tellers to color and fold. Ooh, hey Ron. Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. Yes.
See, all these important things didn't make the report card, but maybe should have.
Our kids play gym with a co-op, a homeschool co-op, and they play poison ball, which is basically dodgeball, you guys. I love how they don't call it dodgeball anymore, but they love it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's fun.
All right, well, we're going to pick a winner here. At the end of the show, we'll be in touch. If we don't get a hold of you, we will mention it next week.
Tetherball.
Yeah, I put that one.
Oh, did you? Oh, I missed it. Oh, man.
So thank you for playing. That was even more delightful than I even imagined. And I had the mental picture of peeing glue off of your hand. So you never know what kind of bonuses you're going to get when you tune in all the way to the end.
And speaking of tuning in,
awesome.
Next Wednesday. So how many hours is that from now? I don't know. 3.
It's 7 days from now.
7 days.
7 days minus an hour.
Let's do a countdown. be back because we will be announcing the location of the 2022 Escape Adulthood Summit.
Right here.
As you know, it is August 1st and 2nd, with the 3rd as an option for Wonder and Whimsy Society members for that Wednesday. So we're excited to move it out of the Midwest.
We're moving out of the Midwest.
And
location
start a new adventure.
Is set. We actually
signed the
sent in the contract today.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping for tickets to be available starting. Golden tickets will be on sale next week when we announce this. So please tune in. If you don't get a chance to tune in, just make sure you're an insider. Go to escapeadulthood.com/insider. It's free to subscribe and be a part of it. We will be sending out emails. Probably we'll send an email first to Summit alumni and Wonder and Whimsy Society members to give them first crack because I'm not sure. I doubt they'll sell out the first day, but they could. Could. We definitely have a limited number, so they'll get the first crack. But if you are an insider, you will be right there on the list. So please do that. Please join us next week. Thank you for joining us this week. Is there something else?
Yeah, well, if you have a job that you can't get off work for those days, then you have 6 months to get a new job. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, do you know right now employers are desperately trying to get good people and they're trying to keep the people they have. Yes. So if you just happen to say like, hey, I may be looking somewhere else if I can't take these couple days off, that might be the only persuasion that you need to get that.
Especially knowing that your time spent at an Escape Adulthood Summit would fully equip you to come back with so many engaging ideas with the people you work with. So again, we're going to talk more about that next week. It's pretty exciting. We're going to talk about how to convince your boss to not only let you go, but pay for it. So there's a lot of opportunity in that, you guys. The weight equals adultitis. Rod, you're killing me. Oh, but we told you the dates, so now you have the whole week to start planning.
Oh yeah, Nick. Dates. Glad my boss is wanting me to go again. Yes, yay. Nick brought a little contingency from Texas.
Were there 5 of them?
4 or 5.
Yeah,
I remember it was.
They were
and
awesome.
They said they were going to bring more. They're going to take Texas was going to take over. So
come on, Nick.
We hope you can.
Yeah,
we hope
bring that wife of yours. It's going to be awesome, you guys. We're chomping at the bit. But like I said, sign the contract today. There's details to work out. We're going to do that this week. And next week on this show, we will share even more details with you guys.
Absolutely. Well, that is it for this show. Until next time, Adultitis Fighters.
Shine on, spread whimsy, and be awesome. See you next week.